Good things don't last forever, not even restaurants that were consistent with serving quality cuisine for their time. Join us on our journey today as we look at 20 of these amazing restaurants from the 1980s that have now faded into history.
Victoria Station, it's just a cut above.
1. Victoria Station. Victoria Station was a restaurant that made its mark in the 70s and 80s, known for its unique theme and prime rib. Founded in 1969 by 3 Cornell University School of Hotel Administration graduates, Robert Freeman, Peter Lee, and Richard Bradley. Victoria Station was inspired by the idea of creating a restaurant modeled after Victorian-era train stations. Each restaurant was designed with authentic railroad cars, giving diners the experience of eating inside refurbished train cars. This attention to detail, combined with the chain's signature dish of slow-roasted prime rib, made Victoria Station a hit with diners across the United States. At its peak in the late 70s and early 80s, Victoria Station had more than 100 locations, with its menu centered around hearty, classic American fare such as steaks, prime rib, and seafood. The restaurant was particularly popular for special occasions, where families and friends would gather in a one-of-a-kind setting. Despite its initial success, by the late 80s, Victoria Station began to lose steam. Rising competition in the casual dining industry, changing consumer tastes, and poor management decisions led to a decline in sales. In 1986, the company filed for bankruptcy, and by the early 90s, most locations had closed. Although it no longer exists, Victoria Station is remembered for its unique concept, ambiance, and signature prime rib, which made dining out feel like a special event. From this train-themed elegance, next on the list is a place that made you feel like you were dining in the age of knights and kings. 2. Gullivers. Gullivers was an 80s restaurant known for its English-inspired dining experience, with a focus on hearty fare and medieval-style decor. Named after the famous Jonathan Swift character from Gulliver's Travels, the restaurant transported diners to another time with its old-world charm and themed interiors. Dark wood furnishings, chandeliers, and armor-clad knights adorned the restaurant, giving it the feel of a grand English tavern, which appealed to families and those seeking a unique dining experience. Founded by restaurateur Horatio Mac McAlpine in the early 70s, Gullivers specialized in prime rib, steaks, and other British-inspired dishes, such as Yorkshire pudding and pot pies. The signature dish, however, was the prime rib, a tender, slow-roasted cut of beef that became the restaurant's standout offering. Paired with classic sides like creamed spinach and mashed potatoes, Gullivers aimed to deliver an experience reminiscent of a banquet hall feast. By the mid-80s, Gullivers had gained a devoted following, especially among diners who appreciated its attention to detail and rich, flavorful dishes. However, as dining trends shifted toward lighter fare and more casual dining options, the demand for heavy, meat-centric meals began to wane. Financial difficulties compounded the restaurant's struggles, and by the early 90s, most Gullivers locations had closed their doors. Though it's no longer around, Gullivers is remembered for its prime rib, English charm, and distinctive medieval ambiance. Up next is a place that was a lively spot for both casual meals and celebrations during the 80s. 3. Bennigan's. Bennigan's was one of the most iconic American casual dining chains of the 80s, known for its Irish-themed menu and pub-like atmosphere. Founded in 1976 by Norman Brinker, who had previously worked with Chili's and Steak and Ale, Bennigan's quickly became a favorite spot for families, young adults, and groups of friends looking for good food in a lively setting. The restaurant featured hearty American-Irish dishes, with popular menu items including the Monte Cristo sandwich, potato skins, and beer-battered fish and chips. Bennigan's didn't just serve food. It aimed to create a social environment where people could relax, enjoy a meal, and have a few drinks. The bar area was often a hub of activity, featuring beers on tap, creative cocktails, and friendly banter. The combination of approachable, comforting food and the convivial atmosphere made Bennigan's a popular choice for casual dining. At its peak, Bennigan's had hundreds of locations across the United States. However, the late 90s and early 2000s saw increasing competition in the casual dining sector, and the chain struggled to keep up with changing consumer preferences. By 2008, Bennigan's filed for bankruptcy, and many of its locations shuttered. Despite this downturn, the Bennigan's brand attempted a revival in the years that followed, with some franchised locations remaining open. For many, Bennigan's remains a symbol of 80s dining, where you could enjoy a Monte Cristo with a cold pint in a welcoming, laid-back atmosphere. Let's set sail to our next restaurant, which had a bit of nautical theme, for Horatio's. Horatio's was a seafood-centric restaurant that offered diners an elevated dining experience with an emphasis on fresh fish and maritime-inspired decor. Named after the famous naval figure Horatio Nelson, the restaurant was designed to evoke the feel of a grand seaside inn with its dark wood interiors, nautical accents, and fine dining menu. Founded in the 70s, Horatio's was part of the trend of upscale casual dining that boomed in the 80s, where people could enjoy high-quality food in a slightly more relaxed setting than formal restaurants. Horatio's menu was known for its wide selection of seafood, from fresh lobster and crab to grilled fish and shellfish platters. The restaurant also served a variety of steaks and other non-seafood options, catering to a wide audience. With its premium ingredients and coastal theme, Horatio's quickly became a go-to spot for both special occasions and casual nights out for seafood lovers. However, as the dining industry became more competitive in the 90s, Horatio's began to face difficulties. Changes in consumer dining habits, along with the rise of faster, more casual dining options, led to a decline in its customer base. By the mid-90s, many Horatio's locations had closed, and the brand faded into history. For those who dined there, Horatio's is fondly remembered for its fresh seafood, elegant ambiance, and its role in shaping upscale dining during the 80s. Next up, let's head to a restaurant that brought French-inspired cuisine to American diners. 5. Magic Pan. Magic Pan was a chain of creperies that brought French cuisine to American diners in the 70s and 80s. Founded in 1965 by Hungarian immigrants Laszlo and Paulette Fono, Magic Pan originally began as a single restaurant in San Francisco. The restaurant's specialty was crepes, thin pancakes filled with savory or sweet fillings, and it quickly gained popularity for its unique offering. Word of mouth about the delicious crepes and elegant ambiance spread, leading to rapid expansion during the 70s and early 80s. Magic Pan's menu was centered around its signature crepes, which were prepared on special spinning crepe griddles that could be seen by customers as they dined. Savory options like chicken divan and beef bourguignon were popular, while dessert crepes filled with chocolate, fruit, or ice cream were must-haves for those with a sweet tooth. The chain prided itself on providing a French dining experience that felt sophisticated yet accessible to American families. At its height, Magic Pan had over 100 locations across the United States. However, by the late 80s, the novelty of crepes began to wear off, and competition from more versatile casual dining chains led to a decline in business. Magic Pan's last location closed in the early 90s, but for many, it remains a cherished memory of an era when dining out meant something a little more special and a little more French. Stay with us as we turn our attention to another restaurant that was the go-to spot for Hollywood's elite.
How are you? So nice to see you again.
Oh, come on in.
6. Chason's. Chason's was one of the most iconic restaurants in Los Angeles, beloved by Hollywood elites and known for its celebrity clientele. Established in 1936 by former vaudeville performer Dave Chason, the restaurant became a hotspot for the rich and famous, offering a fine dining experience in a classic Hollywood setting. Over the decades, Chason's hosted stars like Clark Gable, Elizabeth Taylor, and Marilyn Monroe, and was famously where Ronald Reagan proposed to Nancy Davis. The restaurant was synonymous with glamour, style, and old Hollywood charm. Chason's menu focused on American cuisine with luxurious touches. One of its most famous dishes was the chili, which became legendary when Elizabeth Taylor had it flown to the set of Cleopatra in Rome. Other popular items included prime rib, shrimp cocktail, and the hobo steak, all served in a setting that radiated exclusivity and sophistication. Despite its golden years, by the 80s, Chason's began to face difficulties. Changing tastes and the emergence of newer, trendier restaurants led to a decline in its popularity. By the 90s, Chason's had lost much of its luster, and in 1995, the restaurant closed its doors for good. Though it no longer exists, Chason's remains a symbol of Hollywood's golden era, where celebrities mingled over fine food in a setting fit for the stars. Next up, we journey to a more casual American dining experience that felt familiar, yet exciting. 7. The American Cafe. The American Cafe, launched in the 70s, was a casual dining spot that became popular throughout the 80s for its laid-back atmosphere and wide variety of American comfort food. Known for its approachable yet slightly upscale menu, the American Cafe was a place where diners could enjoy everything from burgers and sandwiches to steak and seafood, making it a versatile choice for different occasions. Whether it was a casual lunch or a night out with friends, the American Cafe offered an inviting atmosphere with a focus on quality ingredients. The restaurant became a favorite for many due to its blend of casual dining with an upscale twist. Its interior design often featured cozy booths, exposed brick walls, and low lighting, making it a welcoming place for both families and groups of young professionals. The menu had a mix of contemporary American favorites, including grilled chicken, pasta dishes, and a variety of hearty salads, ensuring there was something for everyone. However, as the dining landscape shifted in the 90s, the American Cafe began to face stiff competition from fast casual chains and other modern restaurants. As trends moved towards faster service and trendier concepts, the American Cafe's appeal began to fade. By the early 2000s, many of its locations had shuttered, and the brand faded into obscurity. Nevertheless, for many, the American Cafe remains a fond memory of simple yet satisfying meals in a relaxed setting. On our next stop, we're visiting a restaurant known for its tropical flair.
Here at Trader Vic's restaurant and Mai Tai Lounge at the Hilton Atlanta Hotel.
8 Trader Vic's. Trader Vic's was a Polynesian-themed restaurant chain that pioneered the tiki culture in American dining. Founded in 1934 by Victor Bergeron in Oakland, California, Trader Vic's was one of the first restaurants to introduce Americans to exotic flavors and tropical decor. The restaurant was famous for its intricate tiki-themed interiors, complete with bamboo furniture, tiki statues, and thatched roofs. It created an immersive island experience that made diners feel as though they had been transported to a far-off paradise. Trader Vic's was also renowned for its innovative cocktails. Bergeron is often credited with creating the famous Mai Tai, a tropical rum-based drink that became a staple at tiki bars across the world. The restaurant's menu featured Polynesian-inspired dishes like roasted pork, shrimp, and chicken skewers, often served with sweet and savory sauces that were unlike anything most Americans had tasted before. At its height, Trader Vic's had locations all over the world, and it became the go-to spot for those seeking a fun, escapist dining experience. However, by the 80s, the popularity of tiki culture began to decline. As dining trends shifted towards more contemporary and healthier options, Trader Vic's struggled to maintain its customer base. Many of its locations closed in the 80s and 90s, though a few still exist today. For many, Trader Vic's remains a nostalgic memory of tropical drinks, island-inspired food, and tiki-themed fun. Next, we now head to a more elegant Italian dining experience that transported guests to the heart of Rome. 9 Tiberios. Tiberios was a high-end Italian restaurant that brought the flavors of Italy to American diners with sophistication and flair. Founded in the 70s, Tiberios quickly became a destination for those seeking an upscale dining experience, with a menu featuring traditional Italian dishes made from the finest ingredients. The restaurant's ambiance was elegant and refined, with white tablecloths, candlelit tables, and a wine list that complemented its rich, flavorful menu. Tiberios specialized in classic Italian dishes, including handmade pasta, risottos, veal marsala, and seafood dishes that highlighted the fresh, vibrant flavors of Italy. The restaurant's dedication to quality and authenticity made it a favorite among food enthusiasts and those looking to celebrate special occasions. Tiberios was not just a place to eat. It was a dining experience that transported patrons to Italy with every bite. However, by the late 80s, Tiberios, like many fine dining establishments, faced challenges. The rise of more casual dining options, coupled with the increasing costs of running a high-end restaurant, led to a decline in its customer base. As competition grew and consumer tastes shifted toward more affordable and casual dining experiences, Tiberios began to lose its footing. By the early 90s, most Tiberios locations had closed, but it remains a fond memory for those who experienced its elegant take on Italian cuisine. Up next, this restaurant had a more playful atmosphere that entertained families while serving up classic American fare. 10 Showbiz Pizza Place. Before Chuck E. Cheese dominated the family entertainment and pizza restaurant market, there was Showbiz Pizza Place. Launched in 1980 by Bob Brock and Robert L. Barney, Showbiz Pizza Place was a hybrid of arcade games, animatronic shows, and pizza designed to appeal to children and families alike. the restaurant's signature draw was the Rockafire Explosion, a group of animatronic animals that performed musical numbers for audiences, adding an extra layer of entertainment to the dining experience. Showbiz Pizza Place became an instant hit, with its mix of pizza, arcade games, and interactive performances creating a fun, family-friendly atmosphere that set it apart from other restaurants. The menu focused on classic pizza with a variety of toppings, along with salads and snacks that appealed to kids and adults alike. Birthday parties at Showbiz Pizza were a common occurrence, making it a go-to spot for celebrations throughout the 80s. However, by the late 80s, Showbiz Pizza faced increasing competition from Chuck E. Cheese's, which had a similar concept but was gaining more market share. In 1984, Showbiz merged with Chuck E. Cheese, and by 1992, the Showbiz brand was fully absorbed into Chuck E. Cheese's, with all locations rebranded. Although Showbiz Pizza Place is no longer around, it remains a nostalgic memory for those who grew up in the 80s, with the Rockafire Explosion still holding a special place in the hearts of many fans. Moving on from kid-friendly entertainment, next on the list is a buffet experience that catered to families and large groups alike.
Remember when Mom's home cooking was so special no one could match it? Old Country Buffet brings that magic back.
11 Old Country Buffet. Old Country Buffet, founded in 1983, was the epitome of American buffet dining. Known for its wide variety of comfort foods served in an all-you-can-eat format, it quickly became a favorite for families looking for both variety and value. The chain specialized in offering a rotating selection of classic American dishes such as fried chicken, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, roast beef, and an array of salads and desserts. Diners loved the ability to serve themselves and indulge in multiple trips to the buffet, making Old Country Buffet a popular choice for large groups and special occasions. The interior of an Old Country Buffet was casual and welcoming, often featuring wooden accents and a cozy, homey ambiance. Customers could stroll through the stations, loading up their plates with different comfort foods and returning as often as they liked, making it a versatile option for both lunch and dinner. Old Country Buffet's success mirrored the dining trends of the 80s and early 90s, when buffet-style restaurants were all the rage. However, by the late 90s and early 2000s, the chain started to struggle. Changing dining habits, rising competition, and issues with maintaining food quality contributed to its decline. Many locations closed throughout the 2000s, and though some restaurants still exist, the brand is largely a thing of the past. Nonetheless, Old Country Buffet remains a nostalgic memory for many Americans. Our next restaurant is a Tex-Mex favorite that once held a special place in diners' hearts. 12 Casa Lupita. Casa Lupita was a Mexican restaurant chain that brought the bold and vibrant flavors of Mexico to American diners throughout the 80s. Founded in the late 70s, Casa Lupita offered an authentic, yet approachable Mexican dining experience that was perfect for families, date nights, and group outings. The restaurant featured traditional Mexican decor with colorful murals, rustic furnishings, and an ambiance that transported guests to a cantina south of the border. The menu at Casa Lupita focused on classic Mexican dishes, including sizzling fajitas, hearty burritos, enchiladas smothered in sauces, and tacos filled with seasoned meats and fresh toppings. One of the restaurant's standout features was its freshly made guacamole, prepared tableside for guests. Margaritas and other Mexican-inspired cocktails were also a hit, making Casa Lupita a fun and lively place to enjoy a meal. As the popularity of Mexican cuisine continued to grow throughout the 80s, Casa Lupita thrived. However, by the mid-90s, the restaurant began to face challenges from larger, national Mexican chains that were expanding rapidly. The competition, coupled with the shift toward more fast, casual dining options, led to a decline in Casa Lupita's customer base. By the early 2000s, most locations had closed their doors. Still, Casa Lupita holds a special place in the hearts of those who remember its festive atmosphere and flavorful dishes. We now move on to an iconic fine dining restaurant that was known for its impeccable French cuisine, 13 Le Roux's. Le Roux's was a fine dining institution in the New Orleans area, known for its impeccable cuisine and high standards of service. Founded in 1966 by legendary chef Warren LaRouth, the restaurant became synonymous with culinary excellence, offering a menu that blended French, Creole, and Southern influences. LaRouth's quickly gained a reputation as one of the top restaurants in the country, drawing food lovers from all over to experience its innovative dishes and carefully crafted flavors. LaRouth's menu featured an array of exquisite dishes, such as lobster bisque, crab meat stuffed flounder, and veal with béarnaise sauce, all prepared with a level of precision and artistry that was unparalleled at the time. The restaurant's focus on fresh, local ingredients and its commitment to quality made it a standout in the fine dining world. Chef Roux himself was known for his creativity and attention to detail, with many of his recipes becoming signature dishes. Though Roux was wildly successful throughout the 70s and 80s, Chef Roux decided to retire in 1982, and the restaurant closed shortly thereafter. The decision to close was based on his desire to maintain the restaurant's high standards rather than letting it decline over time. While Roux is no longer around, its legacy lives on in New Orleans' vibrant food scene, and it remains a touchstone for fine dining enthusiasts. Next up, our second seafood chain on the list brought the flavors of the ocean to cities across the country. 14 Rusty Scupper. Rusty Scupper was a popular seafood restaurant chain that offered fresh, affordable seafood in a casual, coastal-inspired setting. Founded in 1981, the restaurant quickly became a favorite for seafood lovers, especially in coastal cities where the chain capitalized on the local catch. Known for its extensive seafood menu, Rusty Scupper served dishes like clam chowder, crab cakes, shrimp scampi, and broiled lobster, making it a go-to spot for anyone craving ocean flavors. One of Rusty Scupper's unique features was its nautical-themed decor, complete with wooden ship wheels, fishing nets, and seaside accents that made guests feel as though they were dining on a coastal pier. This ambiance, combined with the high-quality seafood, gave Rusty Scupper a loyal following. Families and groups loved the approachable prices, making it a great spot for both special occasions and casual dinners. However, by the late 90s, Rusty Scupper faced tough competition from other seafood chains, as well as an increasing trend toward fast casual dining. Rising operational costs and a saturated market led to the closing of many locations. Though some Rusty Scupper restaurants still operate independently today, the chain's presence has largely disappeared from the national dining scene. Still, for those who frequented Rusty Scupper in its heyday, it remains a fond memory of fresh seafood and a laid-back coastal vibe. We now head to the open range where steak and potatoes are king. 15 Bonanza. Bonanza was a steakhouse chain that brought affordable, hearty meals to the masses during the 80s. Launched in 1963 by Dan Blocker, best known for his role as Hoss on the television show Bonanza, the restaurant offered an approachable steakhouse experience that appealed to families and budget-conscious diners. Bonanza's concept was simple: offer quality steaks and American comfort food at prices that wouldn't break the bank, making it a popular destination for weeknight dinners and family outings. The menu at Bonanza included a variety of steak cuts from sirloin to ribeye, along with chicken, seafood, and an all-you-can-eat salad bar that became one of the restaurant's signature features. The salad bar allowed customers to build their own salads, complete with an array of fresh vegetables, dressings, and toppings, a concept that was both novel and appealing in the 80s. Bonanza thrived for many years thanks to its combination of value, variety, and a casual, family-friendly atmosphere. However, by the late 90s, the steakhouse industry had grown increasingly competitive, with chains like Outback Steakhouse and Texas Roadhouse dominating the market. This shift, combined with changing consumer tastes, led to the closure of many Bonanza locations. While a few locations still exist today, the chain's golden era is firmly in the past, remembered fondly by those who enjoyed its hearty meals and welcoming ambiance. Our journey now takes us to the Pacific Islands, where tiki culture once reigned supreme. 16. The Hawaiian. The Hawaiian was a Polynesian-themed restaurant that brought the exotic flavors of the Pacific Islands to mainland America during the tiki culture craze of the 70s and early 80s. As the name suggests, the Hawaiian offered guests an immersive tropical dining experience, complete with island-inspired decor such as bamboo accents, tiki statues, and thatched roof booths. The atmosphere was designed to transport guests to the islands, where they could enjoy both the ambiance and the unique flavors of Hawaiian and Polynesian cuisine. The menu at the Hawaiian featured a variety of dishes that embraced the flavors of the Pacific Rim, including fresh seafood, teriyaki-glazed meats, pineapple-infused dishes, and tropical drinks like Mai Tais and pina coladas. The restaurant was particularly famous for its luau nights, which featured roasted pig and traditional Polynesian entertainment such as hula dancers and fire knife performers. During the peak of its popularity, the Hawaiian became a favorite spot for both families and couples looking for a unique and festive dining experience. However, by the late 80s, the tiki culture that had once captivated American diners began to fade, and with it, the popularity of Polynesian-themed restaurants like the Hawaiian. Despite its charm, the Hawaiian was unable to compete with the evolving tastes of the dining public, and by the early 90s, most locations had closed. Today, the Hawaiian is fondly remembered for its unique atmosphere and fun, flavorful cuisine. Let's head to Italy for a taste of old-world pasta at one of the most beloved Italian chains of the 80s. 17. The Old Spaghetti Factory. The Old Spaghetti Factory, founded in 1969 by Gus Dusan, was a family-friendly Italian restaurant that gained widespread popularity in the 80s. Known for its whimsical decor and affordable prices, the Old Spaghetti Factory offered a casual yet charming dining experience that appealed to both young families and couples. Each restaurant was designed to evoke the atmosphere of a bygone era, often featuring antique furniture, vintage chandeliers, and even repurposed trolley cars that were turned into dining booths, creating a unique and nostalgic ambiance. The menu at the Old Spaghetti Factory was simple but satisfying, with pasta dishes at the heart of its offerings. Diners could choose from a variety of sauces, including marinara, meat sauce, and clam sauce, as well as signature dishes like the Mizithra cheese and browned butter pasta. Each meal came as part of a full package, which included soup or salad, a loaf of warm bread, and a scoop of spumoni ice cream for dessert. Throughout the 80s, the Old Spaghetti Factory thrived as families flocked to the restaurant for its affordable prices and playful atmosphere. However, as competition increased and dining preferences shifted toward more upscale or fast casual options, the Old Spaghetti Factory's popularity waned. While a few locations still exist today, the restaurant's heyday as a go-to family dining spot has long passed, though it remains a nostalgic favorite for many. Next is another elegant dining atmosphere that was once the epitome of California fine dining. 18. The Velvet Turtle. The Velvet Turtle was a popular fine dining chain during 70s and 80s, known for its sophisticated atmosphere and upscale American cuisine. Founded by Art Ginsberg in 1965, the restaurant offered a luxurious dining experience that was perfect for special occasions, business dinners, and romantic dates. With its elegant decor featuring dark wood paneling, plush velvet chairs, and candlelit tables, the Velvet Turtle exuded an old-school charm that attracted a well-heeled clientele. The menu at the Velvet Turtle focused on classic American fare with a refined twist. Diners could enjoy dishes such as prime rib, lobster thermidor, shrimp scampi, and chateaubriand, all served with an array of side dishes and fine wines. The restaurant was also known for its impeccable service, with waitstaff dressed in formal attire and trained to provide an elevated dining experience. In the 80s, the Velvet Turtle expanded its presence with multiple locations, catering to diners who sought a more refined and leisurely dining experience in an era when casual dining chains were on the rise. However, the restaurant began to decline in the late 80s, as trends shifted toward more casual and less expensive dining options. By the mid-90s, most Velvet Turtle locations had closed, leaving behind a legacy of fine dining elegance that few restaurants have been able to replicate since. Next up, we're taking a trip to New Orleans for a taste of Creole sophistication. 19. Maison Blanc. Maison Blanc, founded in New Orleans in the early 1900s, was a department store known for its high-end merchandise and sophisticated clientele. However, what many people remember most about Maison Blanc wasn't its shopping. It was the renowned restaurant that became a staple of fine dining for decades. The restaurant at Maison Blanc was one of the city's most prestigious dining spots, offering elegant French Creole cuisine in an opulent setting that matched the grandeur of the department store itself. Diners at Maison Blanc could indulge in classic dishes such as gumbo, oysters Rockefeller, shrimp remoulade, and steak au poivre, all prepared with the finest ingredients and served in a formal dining room with white tablecloths and attentive service. The restaurant was a favorite among New Orleans elite and visitors looking to experience the best of the city's culinary scene. It was also a popular spot for afternoon tea, providing a refined respite from a day of shopping. Maison Blanch's restaurant remained a beloved institution throughout the 80s, but like many department store eateries, It eventually fell victim to changing shopping habits and the decline of traditional department stores. As shopping malls and casual dining options gained popularity, Maon Blanc and its famous restaurant could no longer compete. The store and restaurant closed their doors in the early 90s, but they are still remembered as symbols of an era when shopping and dining were truly intertwined. Finally, we end our journey at a restaurant that mixed casual fun with fine dining for a truly unique experience. 20 ChiChi's. ChiChi's was a Mexican restaurant chain that brought a fiesta-like atmosphere to the dining experience in the 80s. Founded in 1975 by Marno McDermott and former Green Bay Packers player Max McGee, ChiChi's quickly became a popular spot for American diners seeking Mexican-inspired dishes. Known for its bold flavors and festive vibe, ChiChi's menu featured crowd favorites like chimichangas, enchiladas, and sizzling fajitas, all served with heaping portions of rice and beans. Their fried ice cream dessert was a standout treat, and their margaritas were a big draw for happy hour crowds. During the 80s, ChiChi's rapidly expanded across the United States, becoming one of the most recognizable Mexican chains in the country. The restaurant's vibrant atmosphere, complete with sombreros, colorful decor, and lively music, made it a favorite for family dinners and celebrations. However, by the early 2000s, ChiChi's faced significant challenges. Increased competition from fast casual Mexican chains like Chipotle and the rise of more authentic Mexican dining options led to declining sales. The final blow came in 2003 when a hepatitis A outbreak at several locations severely damaged the brand's reputation. Shortly after, ChiChi's filed for bankruptcy and closed most of its United States locations. Despite its downfall, ChiChi's remains a nostalgic memory for those who fondly remember its lively atmosphere and flavorful Mexican fare. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Also share with your friends. Until next time, bye for now.